Last time, in the Gravitas legacy, May and Siobhan adopted a daughter, little Verity Gravitas, who quickly aged into a toddler. After Winterfest, they decided to get married on May's birthday. However, right after their vows were exchanged, Siobhan died. In the wake of Siobhan's death, Valentine has been extraordinarily helpful around the house. His mother took to bed early, exhausted and heartsick, while Valentine did the laundry and tried to help tidy the house. May was still largely in denial over the whole thing, half in a fantasy in her own mind where she and Siobhan had managed to get happily married. But there was a giant urn in her house that reminded her otherwise. The ground outside was too buried under snow to place an urn, and the winter was a bitter one indeed. Like Valentine, she spent a lot of her time trying to get their lives back on track. Spring came soon enough, and with it the Flower Bunny Festival. It was too cold for planting and gardening still, but Valentine got his little sister breakfast and led Verity on a little egg hunt around the house, while continuing to help with the laundry. Although they had had their struggles, their relationship was only growing closer with time. May's New Year resolution was to lose some weight, so she boogied down in the middle of the house while the children hunted for decorated eggs. And Verity took some time to, heartbreakingly, toddle over to Siobhan's urn to mourn. While the kids were playing, May decided to write an incredibly sad children's book about the entire situation, because what else would a writer do? She would give The Giving Tree and Love You for Always a run for their money. May reached level 7 of the parenting skill by encouraging the good behavior Valentine was showing lately, and it was around this time that I remembered that it was both Verity's birthday and would be Val's birthday the next day. Verity aged up to a child and gained the Child of the Ocean trait, as well as the rambunctious scamp aspiration. If the weather ever warms up, she'll definitely need her own swimming pool. She was absolutely adorable, so there was very little I did in Cass besides change her hair, which for some reason had changed to a sorbet recolor. I also gave her back her freckles and glasses. Her favorite color is currently orange. After Cass, a quick room remodel occurred, though Val and Verity would only be sharing until Val was a teen. While Verity clambered into her new bunk bed, Valentine mastered the creativity skill, and the next morning, his aspiration. Since she was feeling a little better due to a couple of theoretical sim months passing, May invited over Ulrike, Makey, and Candy. Her watcher may have had an ulterior motive, since May is not supposed to be single for more than a sim week, but May is the kind of person to leap into relationships and new things anyway. If Siobhan taught her anything, it was that she should charge into new situations fearlessly. After spending some time with her friends, May wanted to go to the park, so she and Verity headed off to downtown Windenburg. Verity wanted a collectible, and I spent several sad minutes trying to find anywhere in Windenburg where there might be one. I finally resorted to having her fish while May went for a jog. I realized that Verity was a child of the ocean, and thus fishing would make her sad, at the exact moment she decided she liked fishing. She is clearly a masochist. Verity also met her eternally teenager Aunt Morgan at the park, but didn't like her much. "Your red hair is stupid," Verity accused. "You look nothing like the pictures I've seen of my mom." "Sims 4 genetics are weird, you butthead," retorted Morgan. "And your hair is red too. Nina Caliente wannabe." Valentine and Verity were home alone for a few hours while May was at work, but it was worth it. May was promoted to local gourmand right as Verity fulfilled her whim of joining Scouts. May got in a quick bath, and Verity took a quick nap before it was finally time for Valentine's exciting teen age-up. He would now get his first of 2 challenge-specific traits, so I chose romantic for him. He decided to throw on some interesting skin details when he aged up, so while I fix that, let's run down his traits and aspiration. Valentine wants to be a mansion baron, probably as a result of being raised in this very small house on the crumbling Isle. He is an art lover, romantic, creatively gifted, and business savvy. His hobby is playing the keyboard. I've taken out wonderful whims for the time being, so he is currently bisexual, as all Sims naturally are without mods in, and his favorite colors remain blue and green. I'm beginning to take votes on who should be heir, Valentine or Verity. So as a reminder, Verity is a child of the ocean and will likely be physically gifted. Her hobby is fishing, and she also likes video games. Please comment on who you would like to be heir while I quickly build an addition onto the house for Val's new bedroom. The following morning, while Valentine got in an off-key, early morning plunking on his keyboard, May made breakfast for the family. Verity came into Val's room to spend some time, and since she was hungry, Val felt bad for her and got off the keyboard for a chat. When the kids went off to school, May settled down at her desk to write, as she often did. With the passing of time visible in her family's age-ups, it was clearly time to be finishing up her own place in the Mercury generation, including maxing her writing skill. While she was writing, Valentine faced a situation at school. While taking a quick break, he saw some money sitting on a sink in the bathroom. He briefly debated turning it in or keeping it, but decided he hardly needed the money, since his mom provided him everything he ever needed, so he turned it in. May needed to review some food for her job, so she went to a restaurant with Siobhan's family, the Fires, only to find Moira heavily pregnant. Apparently, Siobhan telling her not to try for baby hadn't worked. Dominic, meanwhile, decided to creepily flirt with her. So much for keeping up a close relationship with Siobhan's parents. She did invite them back to the house, though, to spend some time with Val and Verity. May finally gave Verity the one birthday present I will likely remember to have her receive, a slablet for gaming. When she was at school, Verity forgot to do an assignment, so she copied a classmate's. It's fine. She deserves a good grade because she's smart, and she would have gotten one anyway if she had remembered to do it. So it's not morally bankrupt at all. Really. Valentine was also having trouble at school and was fighting with someone else in the hall. These kids, man. Sharing a bathroom is getting hard, and everyone smells by the end of the day. Valentine takes a post-school bath before calling up Cassandra from school to work on his school project with him, and hopefully flirt a little, since he's wanted to flirt almost from the moment he aged into a teen. It was too late for Cassandra to come, though, so he had to put off working on the project for another day. May, however, was feeling quite confident and wanted to try a bold pickup line on someone. She was ready to move on. However, literally no one wanted to move on with her and would show up when she called. She managed to get Candy to show up very briefly and got a flirt in, but Candy was too sad about Siobhan still for anything further. Clearly no one was as willing to move as quickly as May was. If Siobhan's wife was ready to move on, why weren't her friends? May went home mostly disappointed and channeled her disappointment into maxing the charisma skill. One part of the Mercury generation done and over with. If you like this episode, please comment, like, and subscribe. As a reminder, votes for the heir are happening now, and for at least one more episode, so please vote for Valentine or Verity in the comments. You can read about the Venus generation in Genova Sims' challenge rules, which I have linked in the description below. I'm still working on getting a rotational Let's Play going as well, but I've had a snag, so it's going to be delayed at least another week. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome day. Bye!